Oh, it's that time. It is long overdue that I get to this video. The Enter the Gungeon weapons tier list. I've wanted to do this for so long now, and I finally have the chance to do it. I just got done with an Enter the Gungeon stream, and frankly, I didn't want to stop recording, so I ended up making this vid. So these are all of the weapons, and then some of Enter the Gungeon. And I have the tiers separated thusly, starting with Godly, only the reserved for the best of the best, Demi-Godly, slightly under that, Excellent, pretty much as good as you can get without completely breaking the game, Superior, well, what it says on the tin, Good, you know what good is, something that you want, something that you don't mind having. Inferior, well, not so great. Trash, quite literally garbage. And, well, I'm pretty sure we all know what this particular tier is reserved for if you've ever played this game. So, without further ado, let's get started. I won't be going over. I won't really be including the synergies of these weapons, just kind of the base weapons themselves. So nothing. I'm not rating these based off of their, synergies, their literal synergies or the synergies with other bullet upgrades and etc. Just basically how they come by themselves. So looks like we're going to start with our starting guns here for our Gungeoneers. This is the Rogue Special, the Pilot's chosen gun. Probably the worst of the four original. Well, really the worst of any Gungeoneer's gun, in my opinion. I'm gonna put this in trash. Just not very good at all. It's very inaccurate. The bullets dissipate after a fairly short distance, and the damage is worse than any other Gungeoneer's starting weapon, with the exception of the Cultist, but we'll get to that. Rusty Sidearm. This is the Hunter's primary weapon. This one's not too bad. It's a pretty fair, substandard pistol. This looks like the... Is this the 38 Special? Looks like. It's not a bad weapon. I'd put it over this. I don't know if I'm gonna be rating every single one exactly in order from best to worst, but I'll try my best to allocate these how I see fit. 38 Special, better than the starting weapons. Slinger. Now we're starting to get somewhere. I'm gonna put this in Superior. Just the fact that you can fire as fast as you click is good enough, but the additional ability to stun enemies is great. Also, infinite ammo does not hurt. Budget Revolver. Now, this is actually my favorite of all of the beginning four Gungeoneers, the OG Gungeoneers weapons, starting weapons. And even though 38 Special gives you a slight fire rate bonus, I'm gonna put this up here because this is just I think this is just that good. Pretty nice reload speed, and fire rate is good in my opinion. Marine Sidearm. I'll probably put this right here, one step above the Rusty Sidearm. Robot's Right Hand. We're gonna go with good on this one. I don't see it quite on the level of Slinger, but this is certainly better than any of the original starting weapons. This is the Dart Gun. I believe, from the cultist. You can only ever get this as the cultist when you play co-op. Shoots little Nerf darts that stick on walls and stuff. It's pretty silly. This is actually better than than this piece of garbage right here, though, in my opinion. Blasphemy. Now we're starting to get somewhere. I Jeez, this is probably going to be stuck here at excellent. Um, Without full health, it does fall back quite a bit. The fact that you can just destroy bullets is paramount. I mean, that's what makes this weapon what it is. That's why it's so good. But for anyone other than the bullet, this kind of takes a hit. On the bullet, this is the best starting item, I guess. I mean, it's his starting item, but if you had this on any character other than the bullet, it kind of faces a little bit of a deficit because you don't have that melee immunity, that contact damage immunity anymore. So it makes it a little bit harder to get into close range unless you have full health. So you can shoot that little shimmery blade out. But all in all, this is a very, very great weapon. If you find this, you're good to go. We got pea shooter here. Well, Babby's first gun, tutorial gun. Again, no synergies, no explosive pea pods here, just regular old pea gun, as I like to call it. I'd still rather take this than these two, I think. Not infinite ammo like these two, but 1,000 shots is uh, more than you'll ever need, really. We got finished gun. Now we're getting into game breaking territory. Um, just a fantastic gun overall. It's like it's like blasphemy but better. I mean, it's not really like blasphemy at all, but the fact that you can repel the bullets and enemy bullets then hurt the enemies. It's just this gun's great. I wouldn't necessarily put this in top tier because it does have limited ammo, unlike some of the other weapons that we'll get to eventually on this list. But this is an extremely great gun. Well worth unlocking it. Well worth, uh, you know, going through the entirety of the Ammonomicon. Super fun to use. Oh, also, you can find this thing in brown chests, which is great because it's theoretically ranked like a D tier weapon, which means you can find it in low quality chests, but in reality, this is easily S tier, if not S plus, if there were such a thing. We got, what is this, Derringer. This is the two-shot special gun. You know, it's pretty bad. Like it's not very good at all. Surprising amount of damage for this little thing, but nothing to write home about. I'd probably put it down here at the bottom of the trash tier for right now. Next, we have unfinished gun. Finished guns, younger. I was gonna say younger brother, but really it's just its younger self. Um, I I don't. Uh, I'm not a huge fan of this weapon. I haven't really used this in a while because once you unlock finished gun, this is no longer applicable in your save file. So this basically becomes this once you unlocked it. But for a long time, you'll be using this gun, like, up until you finish your Ammonomicon collection, which is to say probably a long time. Um, it's not a bad gun. Piercing, uh, the bullets look cool. but I think I'm gonna have to stick it down here. I don't think I'd put this on the same level as Robot's Right Hand, so I'm gonna put it here. Maybe potential to move up slightly, but we'll see. M1911, if I'm not mistaken. This is a pretty good handgun. I'll put it right here. This is the Makarov, I believe. It's on par with the starter weapons, with the original starter weapons. So I'll probably put this like up on top since I think it has better, well-rounded stats than the regular starter weapons. This is the Colt something or other. Colt is pretty good. Little burst shot action. I'd probably put it above this, but below that. Dungeon Eagle. Pretty good for a charge shot weapon. If you're just firing it normally, it's also fairly good. Superior, though, I've never really... As far as charge weapons go, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think. When I look at this, I'm trying to think of like, I'd probably rather have this than Robot's Right Hand, but I don't know if I'd quite put it to the level of Slinger. Just because I am taking into consideration the infinite ammo on both of these weapons. Yeah, I think I'll put this here for right now. Does fairly good damage, but it's also a charge shot weapon, which means more time to get it where you need to go. It's a dueling pistol. This is a horrible, horrible gun. I don't like this thing at all. I'd rather take the Derringer over this. Not quite trash lord tier, but certainly hot stinking garbage in my honest opinion. Gray Mouser. I'm not a fan of this gun either. It's this one's pretty challenging to unlock, and the benefits for it are just not too great. I'll probably put it... I mean, in reality, it's probably better than the M1911, but I feel like it should be here just because of... I don't know. I just don't like this gun. It's not very... The gimmick doesn't equate to the challenge that it takes to unlock it. I don't know. That's just me. I'll leave it here though for right now. AU gun. Now this is pretty powerful. This can one-shot pretty much everything with the exception of bosses, but it'll deal super high damage to bosses. I'm not sure if this breaks the DPS cap. I don't know. But I'd probably put this, due to its severe lack of ammunition, I'd probably just put this in excellent. Like if this had more ammo, it would probably be up here, even though you do only get one shot per or one round per magazine, but I mean, 22 shots altogether, that's not very great. That's, it's like a condensed glass cannon, I guess you can say. Yeah, I'll probably put it like here. I'd still rather have access to blasphemy because this is just... it's kind of like this is like one step below broken. This is pretty much as broken as you can get, but you have the whole health thing with this. This is not quite as broken. Magnum. It's a pretty straight up great gun. I'll put this above Slinger. This is SAA, I believe. This is also a very good handgun, and I will also put this above Slinger, and I will also put this above Magnum. Um, yeah, that sounds about right. I do like that gun a lot. Cold 45, really good handgun. I'll probably put it here. I like the freezy effect. This is probably one of the better freezing weapons. Shoots relatively fast, does good damage. And yeah, freezing, that's always a nice benefit when it doesn't come from a really crappy gun. Polaris. So I feel this one's a bit controversial. I feel that this gun should be better than it is, and sometimes it can be. But really, this is one of those guns, one of those weapons that relies on your skill. It's like um, it's kind of like a better version of metronome, I suppose, in that like even if you get hit, it doesn't completely ruin your upgrade streak or your level up streak, but or you can also switch weapons with it, but I don't know. It takes too long in order to level it up for it to be worthwhile unless again you're good at the game enough to where you don't get hit very often because this can become a really good gun. But I don't know. I'd probably it's hard. It's hard when you get to guns like this because their gimmicks are so not necessarily convoluted, but it relies on so much. It doesn't just rely on the gun itself. It relies on the actual player. And I'm not ranking based off of the player's uh, skills or talents necessarily. I'm ranking it on the gun itself. So just based off of the statistics that this offers and the way it works, I'm probably going to put this down in good because it's like just by itself without any level up, it's really not that good. And you have to rely on yourself to not take damage while killing a good amount of enemies before you can level this up to the third and final level. So I don't know. I mean, I'd rather have this than I'll probably put this up here to be honest because I'd sooner have this than any one of these. But I don't know. It is what it is. Jolter. Um, so Jolter is a very powerful weapon, but the problem with it is it has really high knockback. So when you hit an enemy, they're gonna go flying back, and with the inaccuracy of this gun, it's very hard to get consecutive hits on enemies that keep getting sent backwards. It's very good for a boss killing weapon, very, very good boss killer right here, but in any other circumstance, it's not super great. I'd probably put this. This one's hard. I do like the damage output of this gun, but that knockback it hinders it quite a bit when you're getting into room clearing territory. For bosses, it is very good though. Um, Superior, I don't know. I might have to put this like right here. Maybe like up here because I'd still rather have this than this, and I'd probably rather have this than this because this is like you can almost think of this as an immediate third level Polaris, but just with added knockback, and you don't have to deal with any of the leveling up nonsense. Gun, another handgun I'm really not a fan of. It's one of those trick guns that switches from pistol to a beam weapon, neither of which are very powerful in my opinion. Again, I'm not a walking Wikipedia article, so if you really wanted to check the actuarial data, the varying statistics for all these guns, you need to look that up on there because that has all the numbers. I don't know all that stuff. There's way too many weapons. There's way too much going on with each of these guns. I I'm doing this based off of how I feel when I use these guns in any given run. And I've done numerous runs where I don't pick up any items and I rely strictly on the weapons themselves. And even with item upgrades, this always feels like such an anemic gun. It's like you'd think a gun based off of those big bossy skeleton enemies would be kind of kick ass, but this is kind of just meh. the the fact that you can switch between bullets and beam is pretty cool because you might not necessarily have an upgrade that works well with one but does with the other, because you can get more damage out of a beam weapon than your bullets if you have the right setup going on. But again, we're not really basing this off of synergizing with other items in the gungeon, just the weapons themselves. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not a huge fan. I'd probably put this like here, to be honest. Like if I saw this available, I'd still pick up the Colt over this thing. You got big iron here. This is a pretty good gun. It's like a handgun mixed with a shotty. It's good for close range, not so great for medium to far range, but does some pretty good damage if you can maneuver your way into close range to the enemies. I'd probably put this over this. I don't know if I do. I consider this superior? Not really, because it's very inaccurate. If you can get, again, I'm not basing this off of the fact that you rely on other items to make these weapons better, because that's against the whole point of this. But if you could get something that helps you aim better, then this becomes a powerhouse. This becomes, probably like closer to up here, probably better than like a Magnum. But due to its inaccuracy and the fact that you have to put yourself in more dangerous positions, i.e., getting closer to the enemy so that more shots hit, I don't know. I'd probably put this. I'd probably still take this over Jolter though, but the freezing on this is just too good. Shades' revolver. Now we're getting somewhere. This is like Magnum on steroids. Well, actually, I don't even know if it's any strictly better than the Magnum, but it does make you cooler. Because, Shades was cool, so that means you'll be cool too. I'd probably put this. I value coolness pretty highly because it does affect the entirety of your run. Like coolness, the stacking coolness could really make your run into a god run like that. I mean, if you get this plus some other cool items, you're in for a good time. Um, Actually, I'd probably rather have this than I might even put this up here, to be honest. Uh, yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. We got flare gun here. Now flare gun's pretty good. It's not well, okay, I lied. It's not that good. It's fair for what it is. It casts enemies on fire, which is nice, and it deals a fair amount of damage. I'd probably put this over the starting items, which is to say this one as well. Um, you know what? I'm gonna put the well, no, this has piercing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this right here. That looks about right. Composite gun. Okay. This is er, not much ammo. Kind of the same problem that Gold Gun has, but you charge it up and it blanks, which is very nice. So you can use this both offensively and defensively, and it deals pretty good damage. I'm probably going to leave this here in Demigodly. It's a little bit broken, just a little bit. Not humongously broken. Not as busted as this thing, but I think this is one of the better guns in the game should you get your hands on it. Any gun that can cause blanking effect or just massive damage outright is pretty good. Smiley's revolver. This one is much like Shades' revolver. Same stats if I'm not mistaken. Again, I don't know, but just based off of the feel and the fact that it shoots like the other, it's pretty good. But you get the added effect of disarming personality, which is to say, you get shop sales. So everything in the run is cheaper when you're holding this, which is almost kind of broken. It's like one step short of going up here because this has the ability to perpetuate your run into a god run. And the earlier you find this, the better, because that just means the more money you're saving and the more you can get out of your hard-earned shells. And it's not a bad weapon to boot. It's just all around good. What is this? This looks like Winchester. Winchester is a pretty good shotgun. It's like a slightly upgraded reg shotty. Trying to think of where I'd put this. It's got a fairly tight spread, shoots pretty fast. I'd certainly put it over Big Iron. And I'll probably leave it here because there's so many shotguns in this game, as you can very well see from the laundry list of them we have coming up. There's so many shotguns that I feel that this is a good, maybe not standard. This is probably the best standard of a shotgun, i.e., reg shotty, of course. But this is its older, slightly deadlier brother. So with that being said, reg shotty would probably go. I like reg shotty. I think it's pretty good. It's gonna go. Let's see. Probably put it over that. Over this though. I don't know if I could do that. I think this lingers right below Robot's right hand here. Yeah, that looks about right. Sawed off shoddy. Sawed off shoddy. This is the convict's secondary starting weapon. Not very good, I'll be honest. It's kind of just there to give her a little bit of extra oomph, even though she begins with the best starting pistol, in my opinion. But I don't know. I'd rather have the pistol than this thing. The ammo's fair, but the distance, the range on this is absolutely abysmal. Probably one of the worst in the game. You have to get in super close to hit your enemies, or well, to hit them effectively anyway. And beyond the first couple of floors, this thing really falls off quick. So I'm gonna have to probably put this. I'd probably even take this over this, to be honest. Old Goldie. So this is a really good shotgun. I like this shotgun. It's just a strictly better shotgun. Just a very, very good weapon in general. I'm probably gonna put this. I'll probably put this like, I might even put this up here to be honest. This is I like the shotgun a lot. It's not the best, but it's certainly upper echelon shotgun. Elephant gun. It's aight. Similar problem to what Jolter had in that the knockback is immense. Might deal a lot of damage, but it does shoot in a spread, so it's a pretty tight spread. But you're still gonna have to get fairly close to your enemies if you want to deliver the full punch, and they're gonna be blasted to Kingdom Come, and you're gonna have to chase them all the way there if you want to kill them. But you know, it's mm, better? Probably not better. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. I'll probably put this like, let's see, in comparison to Reg Shoddy, I'd probably have this. I don't know if I'd have it over this though, to be quite honest. I think that's where it ends. We got the Tangler up next. This is a pretty good shotgun. I'd say it's better than this. I'd even say I don't know if I want to kick it up to superior. I don't think it's quite there yet, but it is certainly better than this in my opinion. Does some surprisingly good damage, and it's just fun to use, if not a bit uh, wonky. Got Rattler. This is like like the game says, it's just a Winchester with a rattlesnake wrapped around it, but it's more powerful and it deals poison damage, which is phenomenal. I'd probably put this. I've always had a good time with this gun, so I'm gonna rate it a little higher. Probably put this. I'll probably put this right here to be honest. Yep. Void Core Shotgun. This is one of my favorite shotties in the game. It's not super special or anything, but it's just fun to use. Nice compact shotgun. Shoots rosy red bullets and stuff, and it's just all futuristic and nice and fun to use. I'm probably gonna put this. I'll put this above that, and in fact, yeah, I think it's pretty deadly. It's a shotgun, so you're gonna have to get in close range. But boy, is this thing effective. Not quite as good as this, but it's pretty good, especially when you get the other Void Core weapons. But again, no synergies here, just by itself. It's still a pretty good weapon. I don't know, somewhere up here. I'll put it one below because I do like SAA a lot. Now we have the penis gun. This is shot grub. This is a horrible shotgun. This shotgun's okay if you have poison immunity. If not, it can be kind of detrimental. Also, it shoots in varying patterns that always change and are completely random. There's no rhythm to this gun. It'll shoot in I don't know, a number of specific patterns, but there will be no there will be no pattern to the shot spread that it has, so it's kind of hard to gauge where your bullets are going to go. So if you're standing right in front of an enemy and you may not hit them because the bullets will go flying off in one direction or another. Kind of a bad shotgun in my opinion. Also, the poison kind of hurts you if you're not careful or not immune. I'd probably put this like, I don't know. I'd sooner have one of the starting weapons than this piece of crap. I'll just leave it down here. Shotgun full of hate. This is a pretty good shotgun. I'd wager this is better than Old Goldie. Uh, However, causes poison. That's not a good thing. Because if you don't have poison immunity, that means you're causing problems for yourself. Does also have, I want to say that the nails that it shoots pierce, but it also shoots other things. So it doesn't just shoot the nails that pierce, it shoots other damaging stuff. So it's a pretty high damage shotty that has a slight chance for, or well, that has a chance for, hurting you if you're not immune to poison. So I'll leave it where it is. I'd probably take this over this, but not over that because this has no downside to it. Unlike the what is this, shotgun full of love. This one is like the shotgun full of hate's twin sister. It's the rosy sweet child of the family that everybody loves and loves everyone in turn. This is a very good shotgun. The charm effect is pretty darn potent. Charm's not the best side effect, but it does help. It's certainly better than, leaving goops of poison on the ground that can potentially damage you. So I want to probably just keep this up here over Goldie. We have Gilded Hydra here. Now, this is a shotgun that I feel has had a... I feel that the gimmick of this weapon isn't what was intended, maybe. I don't know. I feel that... So the way this weapon works, I'll just break it down now because it's a little complicated. The way this works is it starts with one round per magazine, and the shots are pretty powerful. They pierce enemies and deal pretty good damage, but the reload speed isn't too great. And the thing is, for every half heart you're missing, you gain one more round in the magazine. So ideally, you'd want to pull this out when you're missing a lot of health and use it to just obliterate things. But, I mean, if this is the best thing that you have to be using when you're low on health, I don't know. It's not a super great shotgun because you always have to rely on being hurt in order for it to be better, which is just not. It's kind of like counterintuitive almost. I don't want to. If I'm on my last limbs here, I don't want to be trying to rush to pull this thing out and hope to save the day. I'd rather just rely on a weapon that's constantly good all the time, unless of course this is the only thing that you have, in which case you're still going to have a hard time because the reload time on this gun isn't so great. The damage is okay and it does pierce, but it's okay. It's not bad. I'd probably still have like a more like promising weapon. So I feel that if I'm basing this off of other shotguns, I'd probably put it like smack dab in between here. I've always had good runs with the Tangler. With this one, however, I rarely ever use this gun, but I could certainly see the utility in it should you ever find yourself in that position. So I'll leave it right here. Mass shotgun. Now, this is one of my favorite shotguns. Probably going to hear me saying that a lot. About just as many times as you're going to hear me saying, this is my least favorite shotgun. But mass shotgun. This is a super powerful shotgun, and I love it. This is good for clearing rooms. This is good for clearing bosses. It's just all around good. Great rather. I'd probably rather have this than this. I'd probably take this over Blasphemy personally. I'm trying to think though. Like excellent. Yeah, this is a very strong shotgun. Hmm. I'm thinking. This is tough. This is the I may have to just stop doing these, doing like a perfect rank, but I'm already in it now. However, there's a lot of weapons to go, so we'll see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave Mass Shoddy right here. I think that seems pretty fair based off of I am kind of biased, I suppose, but I do feel that this has been a straight up powerhouse every time I pick it up. Like every time I see this gun, I'm like, oh yes, mass shot, give me that. Give it to me now. I will use this. I will kill things with it everywhere. Everything will fall. And it usually always does. So I'm gonna leave this here. Um uh pulse pulse shotgun. It's a pretty fair shotgun as well. I'd probably um I don't know. I don't feel that it's as powerful as Changler, but it's maybe a bit more predictable in that the shot spread is fairly tight and it's almost like the bullets always come out the same way each time you shoot. It's not it feels like that anyway. I don't quote me on that, but it just feels like every time you shoot, the bullets come out in a wave or in an arc out of your barrel rather than in, one giant glob. So I feel it's a bit easier to hit things when you want to. I don't know. I think this is like tied for good. I'll put this up here. That seems about right. Uh, Siren. Siren? Yeah. Um, it's a fairly good shotgun. I ooh, I'd probably I'd probably put this up here. Having a nice water weapon available that does deal fairly good damage is always nice. Water is surprisingly useful in some circumstances. Not in all of them, but again, that's where just having a nice weapon in general comes in because it actually validates your gun and makes it usable in those or in every situation except for those niche ones. So I'll probably put this. I don't know. I maybe down here. Yeah, I'd still have this over Gilded Hydra any day. I don't like this gun very much, but at least this has some utility. Blunderbuss. Better than sawed off. Not as good as reg shoddy. You have to charge it. Has a high knockback. Doesn't deal very much damage. I'd still use this over shot grub. I'd still probably have. I'd still probably take this over any of these. Over fire though. I don't know. It's blunderbuss. It's not that good. I'll leave it right here. Zilla shotgun, on the other hand, this is a pretty darn good shotgun. Charge it to boomstick. I think you can fire four barrels at once with this bad boy. Pretty fun to use. I want to say that I'll put it like right here. Seems fair. Icebreaker. I hate this shotgun. I hate this shotgun. This is one of the worst shotguns in the game in my opinion. Again, it's one of those guns where it's just a gimmick. Like it's ideally what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to freeze enemies with the first two shots And then on the third shot, you fire a giant steel ball or whatever that shatters them. Sure, sounds good on paper, but in practice, the chances of you lining up a number of enemies, or even just one enemy, and then promptly hitting them with the bullet on the last shot, it's just, it doesn't work. It doesn't work out very well. The frost shots are okay, freezing enemies, that's fine, but I don't know. It's like, just find a better frost weapon. Don't use this just to utilize its crappy little gimmick. I don't like it very much. I'd still probably put it above the blunderbuss, but I don't know. It really doesn't deal very much damage, except for the freezing. Like, the freezing is the only thing that I can think of that's actually beneficial out of this gun, because the bullet itself, while it might pierce, it really doesn't. It kind of feels just negligible. Like, it feels like it doesn't do anything. So I'm just gonna leave this here, I guess. Bow. It's a bow. It does what you think it does. It's surprisingly powerful, at least early on. Even later on in the run, it starts to fall off, but it lasts for longer than you'd think. It's still not very good. I'm looking at it. I mean, it's, when you fully charge it, it's pretty powerful. It pierces, it deals a good amount of damage. I don't know if I'd put it over any of the infinite weapons, though. Like, just having these default weapons, I feel, is more useful than this thing. The Huntsman. This is a pretty good shotgun. I'd almost put it on par with the Winchester, with the exception of being able to delete bullets in a very short range. So when you reload it, you swipe it, it gets rid of the bullets in front of you. I've never really found myself to utilize this gun for its intended purpose other than as a shotgun, but I can see the utility in it. Again, the range of bullet deletion is very short. It's a very, very shallow reach that you have with your blade, but I mean, it does get rid of them, which is cool. So I'm probably gonna put this. Geez, I'm probably gonna put this like up here, just because of the fact that you can do that. Oh, also it's jammed, so this is one of those cursed items, which that's not bad. Unless you're stacking curses, one point of curse isn't gonna hamper you too much. Crossbow. This is the hunter's secondary default weapon. Probably the best weapon you're gonna get off of any of the original 4 Gungeoneers. This thing, insta kills the bulletkin on the first and second levels. Doesn't take very many to shoot larger enemies down, so it's not bad. I'd still probably put it below flare gun. It does tend to fall off very quickly, though. Once you leave, I don't know, once you enter maybe the 3rd level, maybe even the 4th chamber, it'll kind of fade away into nothing, because like, you should have better things by then to kill stuff with. And if you don't, you're gonna find that the single shot bolts are not very applicable in later levels. Next we have the membrane, or is it just membrane? I don't know. This is a pretty good shotgun. The bullets pierce. So the bullets pierce and they ricochet. Uh, and also when you hit enemies, the bullets multiply. So I guess they don't really pierce; they kind of just multiply. But either way, it's a pretty powerful shotgun. I'd sooner have this than I'm trying to think. I'd sooner have this than this shoddy. Personally, I'd sooner have this than the Huntsman, even though this gets rid of bullets. I just find this infinitely more useful because it just kills things outright. Because you don't need to worry about bullets when you kill things. Um, yeah, I'll probably leave it. Probably. I may move this up. Yeah, yeah, I'll probably. Magnum's okay, but okay, okay. I think I feel comfortable with that. Rattler's a pretty good shotgun. The poison effect is pretty potent, and it's just a strong shotgun. This is pretty good. We got Charmed Bow, slightly better version than the bow, only slightly, and as such, I'm gonna put it one notch above the bow. The Charmed effect is virtually negligible. I'm more worried about killing my enemies than charming them, so that's what I'll say about that. Blooper. This is a pretty powerful shotty. Uh, but of course, as with some other guns, knockback is an issue. The knockback on this is intense. The damage is also intense. So I'll probably rank this pretty fairly high. Probably put this like right here. Um, I don't know. I feel like, hmm, I feel like maybe, maybe here. Because when I'm looking at this, this seems to be a more powerful shotgun than this, or even this, or even this. But that knockback, that knockback just kind of ruins it. Again, unless you're fighting a boss, in which case, sure. But there's far more enemies than there are bosses in this game. I think I'll leave it here. We got triple crossbow. So this is a pretty crappy it's a pretty crappy weapon as far as the bow items go or crossbow items. This is one of those trick gun ones where it switches from uh, three bolts that slow enemies to uh, oh no wait, is that right? It switches from three bolt shots to single bolt shots. That I think the single bolt shots are the ones that slow them, and the three bolt shots are just like a mini shotgun. Either way, it's not super good. It's not like terrible, but it's not so good. I I don't even know if I'd rank this higher than the regular crossbow. I feel like I should only because it shoots more. It shoots more bolts, but in reality, you're kind of just burning through ammo faster for less of an effect. Also, you don't have to, I guess you don't have to reload every single shot, so I'll leave this here. I don't like it very much. I'd maybe, I don't know. I mean, this one's just, it's not a good weapon. I don't enjoy using it. I don't think many other people do. Then again, I don't really know, but I get that feeling. I feel it's kind of just a anemic weapon. It's not very good. This, on the other hand, uh, crescent crossbow. This is very good. This is probably the best bow item in the game, or at least best crossbow item in the game. Charge it to shoot a bunch of stars, a flurry of little stars that bounce and sparkle and kill things. It's great. This is really good. I mean, the actual weapon itself is far better than these magnums, but the utility of these is just what really breaks these items. I may put this like right here. I don't think coolness is necessarily as important as having this discount. Yeah, that looks about right. I don't know. I don't know. We're barely like what, maybe like a quarter of the way through, and kind of I'm already getting kind of weaselly over here. I'm starting to deteriorate just the slightest bit, and it's affecting my my rankings ever so slightly. Um, we have gunbow next. This is a pretty good bow item. Uh, I like the fact that it just vaporizes enemies. It's really fun to use. Um, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Not as good as this, I don't think, but it's. I'll probably put this like right here. I think that seems fair. It's almost like a less effective um, railgun, kind of ish. It's good. It's not bad. It's for being a bow. It's easily the best bow item in the game, but it's just a pretty good item or a pretty good gun in general. Got the shot bow. I don't like this crossbow very much. You'd think that a crossbow that shoots 5 bolts at once would be better than the crossbow, and it is, but not by much. I mean, I guess I'll put it up here. I don't even know if I'd rank it any higher than these though. Like I don't like this gun. I never Whenever I pick it up, I only use it just because it's there. Like if I don't need to use it, I won't ever touch this thing. It feels so weak. When you're using this crossbow, you feel like you're killing things in an effective manner with just 1 bolt. This shoots 5, and you feel like you're not dealing any damage to anything whatsoever. Like you could hit an enemy with all 5, and unless it's a smaller enemy, you're not gonna kill them. And it shouldn't be like that. You're I don't know. It's this just seems like it should be better, and it's not. I've never liked this gun, so I'm just gonna leave it here. Uh, Sticky crossbow. Yeah, that's what this is called. This is a very good weapon. Um, I'd pop this pretty high up. Uh, you know what? I think I've reached the point where I'm going to just start popping these weapons in these tiers and disregarding the exact ranking like spot for these, because I don't know if I can do that for all these. There's way too many guns in this game. I'm just going to sorry to do this like this far into the video, but it's just I'm looking at this now and I'm like, I don't even know where the heck I can place this in between all this nonsense. So this is definitely a superior crossbow. Um, Deals good damage, great damage. The explosions, are really what make it. So yeah, we'll leave it there from here on, and we'll just start plopping these down because I gotta get this done. It's the sun's coming up right now, guys. This got to get done. M16. Very good gun. Primarily because of the grenade launcher. The grenades are really what make this weapon shine. So yeah, I'm probably gonna put this up here in superior tier. Not more. I don't think this belongs in excellent. I don't think this matches up to some of these items or any of these weapons really, but certainly good to have around. Uh, A key 47. Okay, see now we're getting into broken. This, jeez, this is one of those guns that it's like these it's like the Trigger Twins revolvers. It has applications that are outside of its generic weapon usage. It's the same as an AK-47, but this shoots keys that unlock every lock in the game. You just shoot the lock and it unlocks it. Not every, not the locks that require special keys like the cell keys or the rat, or I mean the cell locks or the rat lock. But the unlocks chests. I'm not fairly certain if this unlocks the latches to the oubliette, but I know this does unlock the doors, the little lock people. So this is pretty broken. I mean, once you find this gun, you're never gonna need keys again, really. So this basically just replaces the skeleton key and gives you a fairly decent weapon on top of that. I'm probably gonna have to put this like, if not in godly. The only reason I wouldn't put it in godly is because I don't know. I feel like you'd still have to utilize it as a weapon if it were in godly. It's the same as an AK, so pretty it's pretty fair, or it's better than fair. It's pretty good, but it's not like super great or anything. The only thing that makes it what it is the fact that it unlocks locks. And because of that, I don't think I can put it up in godly, even though you'll never need a key again. But there are so many ways of getting keys in this game, or better yet, there's so many ways of not even needing keys in this game to where you can just like you don't need to rely on this. It's nice to have, sure. I mean, it does break your game pretty much if it's not already broken, but you know, it's not gonna win you the game outright. That's kind of what this is reserved for. If this was super powerful, I could put it here, even if it wasn't infinite ammo. Just like this gun. Super powerful, but not infinite ammo, unlike some of the other guns we'll get to later that have both power and infinite ammo, which just completely wreck the game. Like, you pick it up, chances are you're going to win that game if you have any sensibilities about you, really. But this gun, I think we can put it here. Maybe here. I'll put it under the finished gun just because, just because. Um, what Thompson submachine gun? Tommy gun. By itself is pretty good. It's a pretty good gun. Just the fire rate is really nice. Works well with bullet upgrades. But just in general, this is a pretty good gun. Deals pretty good damage. Machine pistol. Uh, I, I'm tempted to just. It's not bad. I mean, when I see this, I'm like, oh, okay. It's yeah. I guess it's good. I guess it's. I don't know if I'd put it on par with this, but probably in the same tier. I think that sounds fair. Yeah. Oh, looky here. It's everybody's favorite, Trash Lord. Yep, that's where you belong. I made this just for you. You belong here, all by yourself, burning in the wretched red tier. Down here. Yeah, you. You, Mr. Klob. You terrible, terrible, terrible thing. Ugh, God. Just don't look at me again. You just, ugh. Anyway, what is this? Zorgun, right? This is a Zorgun, I think. I hope anyway. Right? Where's, well, whatever. I'm pretty sure this is Zorgun. This is a very good gun. Has slightly homing bullets, and I want to say the final shot of every magazine does some sort of explosive finale. So it's pretty cool. Um, I'd probably put this in like excellent tier. I've always had a good time with this gun. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Uh, Now is this AK-47 or is this? Yep, that's AK-47. All right. AK-47. You belong here, my friend. You know what? If you get well, you're so damn good though. You're just so damn good. And I just feel that I'm looking at this and I'm like, if you're here, I have to. You're too good for good tier, in my opinion. I feel like I have to put you here. It's just I see this right next to it and I'm like, I kind of want to move this up. But at the same time, yeah, okay, fine. I'll move M16 up here because I'm looking at this and I'm like, of the two, I'd rather have M16 because this has variation. This gives me grenades, which is primarily all that I'm going to use this for is the grenades. Like they're that good. Yeah, I think that's a better fit. That seems about right. Mac 10. This is virtually the exact same as machine pistol, so you're gonna go on the same tier. Plague pistol. You're pretty good. Poison's nice. It's just a pretty good item or a pretty good weapon in general. Patriot. So you're oh man. See, I don't quite consider you well, you do have piercing and the fire rate is just ridiculous, but you do burn through ammo like no one's business. Um you're not really run breaking though. I feel like if I put you here, you're better than this, which means I feel like I need to move this down, but I don't want to move this down to here because this is better. So I might just have to. Geez, this is a. All right, I think I'm just gonna have to. Geez, I wasn't expecting this kind of turmoil in my head right now. I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is obviously better than this. And I don't know if these share the same like level because I'd sooner have Patriot than a lot of these items. Um, Probably all of them, with the exception of like the ones that actually affect my stats and stuff. But it's not really. Well, it kind of. I mean, it's okay. Okay, you know what? I'll put this up here. This is. I think this is worth it. The I'm remembering now. I'm remembering all of the tremendous damage that I've been able to put out with this. I think it belongs up here. Not quite completely run breaking, but if you have this, you're gonna be you're gonna be thankful. It's gonna be a good time. We'll just leave it at that. Vulcan cannon. Um, Now, see, I'm not gonna put you. I don't think you belong up here. You're pretty damn good, but I don't think you belong up there. I'm gonna put you in excellent. Sure, hate me for it. It's a really great gun, but I don't know. I'd prefer Patriot. I might prefer this over M16, maybe, but I'd still prefer this over any of these. Uh, Gungeon. Not Gungeon, Gungeon. Uh, you're really good. And the fact that you can theoretically have infinite ammo is pretty damn good. The fact, even more so, the fact that you speed or that you add like a speed upgrade is ooh, you're trekking, man. You're straddling this line. You're like really high tier upward excellent. Uh I don't know if you're quite game breaking. You're close though. You're really close. I haven't had Gungeon in a good amount of time, but I do remember the few times that I have had you. You've done a great service. I'll leave this in excellent for right now. Potentially demigodly, maybe. Uh, what is this? Vertebrae K47. This is a pretty damn good. It's like AK-47, but better. So you'd think it would go up here, but it's not quite that good. It's just like AK-47 with piercing and kind of homing. So, well, maybe it does. I don't know though. I mean, I'll leave it here. It's a pretty good gun. You'll be happy if you have it. I'll just say that much. Uh, what's this? Heck Blaster, the Unjammer. Um, as a weapon, it's good, but its primary function is to get rid of jammed enemies. So I'll put you. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of this weapon. There aren't actually any bullets that come out of it. I think it's just like a line of sight thing, which may or may not make it better. I'll leave it in superior just for the fact that it gets rid of jammed enemies. How about that? Uh, AWP. This is a pretty dang great sniper rifle type gun. I'm gonna put it up here in excellent. Uh, and then we have sniper rifle. This is gonna go in superior, and then the M1, which is the most rudimentary of those of that lineage, is gonna go in good. I think that's pretty fair. It's a nice little split up. Shows you um, the variation of three similar items, just strict upgrades of each other. Uh, Corsair. I'm tempted to make room for two down here for your crappy crap, but however, I I mean, I can't because you're better than dueling pistol. Like I hate you with a passion, and I want your ship to sink so bad, but I it just you're garbage. Just stay there. Whatever. You're not quite as bad as this, but you're pretty damn bad. You're one of the worst guns in the game. One of my least favorite for sure. Winchester rifle. I'm gonna put you in good. That might surprise some people. Most people would probably put this in inferior, maybe even trash, but I don't know. I feel like I feel like this is a pretty good gun. I don't rely on it later on in a run, but earlier on, it can one shot kill smaller enemies, and you know that's a nice feeling. That's certainly more than a lot of these crappier weapons do. Railgun now we're getting somewhere. Railgun, welcome to Demigod. Dragonfire, welcome to Demigod. Yes, sir. Yep. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think we're good there. Prototype railgun. Well, you're not as good. You know, you try. You try. Um eh, I mean, I don't I don't know if I want to put you here only because I'm looking at the gunbow and I'm like, well, you know, you're strictly better than this, in my opinion. This might deal a little bit more damage, but you pierce and ricochet, you just go in a line and miss everything. But on the chance you hit something, it's pretty good. It's a good boss killer. It's a good everything killer, but again, the problem is hitting things with it because you got to charge it up and then you got to shoot it in one big straight line. So, you know, one shot per one kill is not really good value for this gun. I'll leave it here. It's a pretty good gun. It's just a little finicky, I suppose. Um, do I need to zoom out on this? Yeah, there we go. Okay, alien sidearm. I don't like you. I I mean, you're you're not as good as Dungeon Eagle, and you're there, so I guess I'll just put you here. I'd rather have some of these guns than you. Like I don't like you very much. You're okay, but eh. Deckard. Deckard's pretty good. Is it super good? I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll put it up here. It's pretty devastating. The explosives are powerful, and their explosives just fun to use. Um, yeah. I think I'll leave you up here. Rubidyne MK2. I'm gonna pop you up here in Superior. You're pretty dang good gun. What is this? Void Marshal. A Void Marshal is also a pretty good handgun. One of the better, just strict, or one of the better just straight up handguns. Just very basic, very pew pew. Um, Maybe not as good as Rubidyne MK2 because it doesn't ricochet, but certainly pretty powerful. I like this gun. What is this? The judge? The judge? Yeah, judge. It's okay. It's got a finale, which is fun, but other than that, it's okay. Rubidyne MK1, I'll also put you in good. You're like a strictly worse version of the Mark II, so Mark One goes in good. Mine cutter, mine cutter, mine cutter laser. I don't remember. You're good. You're not great or anything. Like there's very little reason to ever switch outside of the non-piercing laser. I think the non-piercing one might do a little bit more damage, but I'd sooner just pierce my enemy. So you're gonna find yourself reloading this a lot. I think it's just in good. Void Core Assault Rifle, superior, along with your brethren right here. Hegemony Rifle, not so good. Um, I'm almost. I think I might just put you in inferior. Eh, mm, you're not very good. You're not very good. Hegemony Carbine, on the other hand, you're good. I think that's about it. Screecher, I don't like this weapon. I feel like I'm missing something whenever I use it, but whenever I use it, it just doesn't do anything good. It's just like it feels like I'm screaming at the enemy. Like I'm just casting sound waves at them, and it's like, oh, we don't have ears. What are you doing? This is not effective. And I understand that it gets more, I don't even know if it gets more powerful the larger the beam or the larger the waves are, but it I don't know, man. This weapon's just to me. It's never been one of my chosen weapons. I'm going to leave it down here. Snake Maker, if I'm not mistaken. This oof, I'm very tempted to pop this up here in Demigodly because this has a very, very high chance of just transforming most of the enemies you meet into snakes, which is to say, just completely removing them from the game. So just like basically transmogrifying them. So any of the transmogrification item or weapons you can kind of equate to this, but this one's even better because it seems to have a very high chance to transform them into snakes. So it's just very nice to occasionally one shot things or, even more frequently couple shot things and then not have to worry about them at all. If not in Demigodly, certainly excellent, but I do feel like this is up here. I don't know. I have a gut feeling like out of the runs that I've had with this weapon, most of the time this thing turns stuff into snakes. And it just turns, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm gonna leave it up here. Laser Lotus. I'm gonna put this in excellent. This is really good. Hammer. Hammer's up here. The fire rate's ridiculous. The hammer is pretty good. Yeah, I'll leave it up there. Flash Ray. I hate you. You're not quite trash. You're somewhat useful, but this weapon gives me the shits, man. The inaccuracy is just abysmal. It's an interesting gun. Um, it pierces and it looks nice, but it's just when you try to hit something and you don't all the time, it tends to get a little frustrating, and you just don't want to use the gun anymore. Yeah, I'll leave it here. Wind up gun. Now, you may be thinking this belongs in inferior, and I understand. However, I'm gonna pop this up to good. The first however many shots, the first few shots of this do good damage and pierce enemies. And all you have to do is reload the gun. After the first few shots, it'll start to wind down and get worse and worse as you go, as you fire the weapon. But all you got to do is just reload the gun and play that jaunty little tune it plays. So I think this is pretty good for, even later on in the run, you might be able to get some good use out of this if you play it right. Thunderclap. It's okay. I don't know. I feel like this should be more powerful. I'll probably put it in like superior. It's not a bad gun. It's a pretty good gun, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't really understand its purpose maybe, I guess. I just haven't gotten this gun enough in my hundreds and hundreds of hours of this game. I just feel like this is one of those redheaded stepchildren that always manage to avoid me and get ignored. But I feel like when I do get this, it's somewhat powerful. So I'm just gonna leave it up here. Laser rifle. I'm gonna put this in good. It's nice little accurate burst shot, does fairly good damage. So I'm gonna put it here. Double helix. Helix? I think it's just the helix. Helix goes in superior. Kind of difficult to hit enemies sometimes, but potentially doubling your damage because you fire 2 shots per shot, or 2 bullets per shot. Yeah, that's right. English. Um. Oh boy, we're getting small now. What is this? Crestfaller? Not a super good weapon by itself, but the freeze mechanics are okay. I'll put this in good just because it doesn't fire very fast, but the potential to freeze is certainly a benefit. I'll leave this here in good. Maybe even superior, but then I'm looking at this Colt 45 and I'm like, nah, that's leagues better than this. So I'm just gonna leave that there. Uh, what we got? Fight Saber. Fight Saber is fun. Uh, I'm probably gonna put this here just because of the fact you can. It's kind of like Blasphemy, except that it shoots bullets. Again, like Blasphemy, except for you don't have that silly little gimmick with it. That little whatever downgrade to it. It is jammed. I believe this is a jammed weapon, but you can instead of deleting the bullets, it actually hits them back toward the enemy and damages them. So that's pretty nice. I'll leave that up there. Dark Marker. So Dark Marker is, I'd pretty much put this on par with Composite Gun, except it's more difficult to utilize properly in that you have to charge it. You can fire this without charging it, but the whole point of the gun is to charge it and make it go boom. So you have to charge it. It's going to shoot out this helix kind of shot. So it fires 2 bullets, and when they intersect, they explode and blank, much like Composite Gun. Problem is, a lot of the times, one of those shots or one of those bullets is going to hit a wall, which means the other one can't, or which means that they can't intersect, then causing that blank effect. So you always have to have a fairly open room, and you need to fire it in a proper location. Otherwise, it's not going to work correctly or as intended necessarily. But when it does, it's pretty dang powerful. Just any weapon with a blank effect is pretty busted in my opinion. So I'm gonna put that up there. If not up here, then excellent. But I don't know. I have the feeling that if you know what you're doing, you can utilize this in a fairly fashionable manner to where you can blank pretty effectively each time you fire it. What do we have? Charged shot. Charge shots. Um, it's good. It's good. It used to be worse, but it's good. You know, I don't know. I don't. I try not to use the gun unless I have to. Sometimes I get stuck with it. Sometimes it's all you got, and you have to use it. And well, I'm thinking it deals more damage the more it ricochets, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I'll put it in superior. That seems fair. It's pretty good boss killer, pretty good room clearer. It's just good all around. Yeah, I'll leave it there. RC Rocket. Uh, it's just a RC rocket. It deals damage. It go boom. Yari launcher. Well, now I think we all know where that goes. Yep. If you had more ammo, maybe up here, maybe. But even then, I think you'll be there. Commando. I love Commando. One of my favorite rocket launcher. One of my favorite explosion weapons. Explosive, rather. I'm gonna put this up here. Stinger. This is also very good. I'm really tempted to just put this here too. And I think I will. Yeah, that seems about right. Particulator. Uh, you just sit with the winners. I love you. You, my dog. You go up there on the pedestal. You have a good time, my friend. No more needing to say anything about that. The Emperor. This is a pretty good weapon. Do I put this in excellent? I feel that I do. I feel like this is a um yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to put this up here. It's pretty good. Pretty good weapon. RPG. This is not a good weapon. I don't like RPG at all. Explosives are nice. They deal a lot of damage. However, RPG, it it fires slow and it reloads even slower. And when you're in the heat of the battle and you're sitting here for 5 freaking seconds, I'm exaggerating, of course, but when you're sitting here for 5 freaking seconds trying to stuff this RPG in your damn launcher, you're not going to have a good time because the damage output for this gun is abysmal. The DPS is just not where it needs to be for this to be rated any higher than inferior. Hate me for it, I don't care. See, whereas you have this grenade launcher here, see this is good because not only does this do good damage, unlike RPG, even though this is a freaking grenade, this reloads way faster than this piece of crap. And even though it doesn't have the velocity that this does, this still manages to hit more stuff because the grenades also ricochet. It's just you're like this is just a better weapon. Don't ever pick this up unless you well, I mean, pick everything up because why not? But if you had the choice between grenade launcher and RPG, always go with grenade launcher. You're a crazy person. You're nuts if you think that this is better than this. I don't know who you are. Frankly, I don't want to know who you are if you think that, but yeah, that's my stance on that. Just and in any case, they're both in the bottom half of this tier list. So either way, neither of them are very good, but this one is still better. All right, we're done. We're done with that. Bundle of wands. Bundle of wands. One of the better, if not the best, transmogrification weapons on this list. I'm gonna put this up here. And I say it's the best not because of the chance that it has. I don't know if the chance of transmogrification is different from weapon to weapon, all these witch weapons, but seeing as this one fires the most bullets every shot, I'd imagine that this one has the highest chance of transforming an enemy into a chicken. So I'm gonna put this up here. I've always had a great time whenever I pick this up. I love it. It's a fantastic weapon. Witch pistol, also a fantastic weapon. Much like bundle of wands, just fires one bullet at a time. Still, if you can turn some of the hardest, tankiest enemies into a chicken in one shot, you're already better than like all of this other garbage. You know, it's just chicken, chicken, chicken. You'd think this was frickin' Chick-fil-A. All right, onward. Gunslinger's ashes. Come come on, man. I mean, the gimmick of the gun is really neat. However, it sucks. this this gun this gun is not very good. And the fact that you need to do what you need to do in order to unlock it kind of just ruins it for me. I like using this gun when I find it because, again, it's a fun, nifty little weapon to use, but don't expect it to be doing you any services. This thing doesn't do you favors. This thing this thing takes all your weapons and shits in your face. I mean, I'd almost say that you're better off. This might be one of those guns where I'd almost say you're better off just not unlocking the gun so that it doesn't take up a spot in your Gungeon like archive, so that it doesn't, it doesn't pop up in your future runs is what I'm saying. Because just to unlock this gun, it's already hard enough, but the fact that it's not very good once you do unlock it is just kind of a slap in the face. It's a fun gun to use, but I don't know. I've never really enjoyed using it other than just like popping it off whenever I find it, just be like, "Oh, hey, this is cool. Oh, wait, I remember why this sucks so much." I don't know. I'll put it in good. It's not a terrible weapon. It's just for what it takes to get it, it's not as good as I feel it should be, so I'll put it down here. Lil Bomber. God, this thing sucks. This thing sucks. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it. I mean, I guess I'd rather have this than these, so yeah, I'll put it down here. But it's not very good. Phoenix. Eh, it's like it's like a mix of these with a flare gun. It's inferior. It's not that great. Noisy Cricket. I mean, come on, man. Like, yes, haha. The reference is hilarious. It's okay. It's not bad. It's to be honest, I think this is like one of the least collected guns by me. I don't think I've had this. I probably haven't had this more than 10 times in my collected playtime of this game. And that sucks cuz I wish I did, but it doesn't seem to pop up for me. I don't know. Maybe this is better. This probably belongs like up here or something, but I feel like it's pretty powerful, right? Does it do a blank effect? I don't know. Does it knock enemies back a lot? I think so. Does it deal a lot of damage? I'm not sure because again, I don't recall having this too often in my runs. So I'm just gonna put this up here in superior because I slightly remember how it works, but I can't quite entirely remember. So yeah, there's no Wikipedia for that. Um, what's this called? Uh, Staff of what's this called? Staff of Firepower? Staff of Ooh, I don't remember what this weapon's called. Uh, at any rate, it's really good. This is one of those trick weapons where it switches from a gun to this magic staff, and believe it or not, the magic staff is more powerful than the gun. So always be using the staff. Don't even worry about whatever other crap is attached to it. Um, I think it is Staff of Firepower, but I could be very wrong. Magic Lamp. I like this weapon. It's not good for anything other than defeating large enemies or bosses, but you can. This is one of those items that tends to break very easy when you apply some upgrades, which I'm not basing this off of. Even alone, this is a very strong item, or weapon rather. Again, not so good for clearing out rooms because you do have to waste 3 shots on any given target to deal a good amount of damage. But it does kill things pretty effectively. So yeah, mm, yeah, I'll leave it up here. It's pretty powerful. I like using this whenever I have it as much as I can anyway. Usually against bosses or again larger enemies. Frost Giant. It's pretty good. It's it's yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know if I'd consider it better than Cold 45, but on par at best, maybe. Luxin Cannon. I have a soft spot for this. The fire rate, the effects of it is very nice. The finale isn't so great, but I think that this is a pretty strong weapon. Uh, Lasts into your run quite a bit before it starts tapering off. So I'm gonna put it here. Um, Boar. What is this called? Boar. I just had this in a recent run. Boar gun. Boar something. Uh, it's okay. Like it's not bad. It's not good either. It's like I mean it's better than good only because of the damage that it puts out and that it explodes and tracks down enemies, but it's just like it's a little finicky because you can't really aim with this because it homes in on enemies and it'll stun them and then it'll explode after a while, but I don't know. I like having a feeling of control when I'm firing a weapon, at least somewhat, some control. Like homing is cool, but when this thing goes and zips around to whatever it feels comfortable with and then, deals with them, sure. Like, I don't know. I think it's just bore gun. I'll put this here though. I'd rather have the Zorgun than this thing, and the Zorgun has a chance of firing whatever this fires. So I don't know. I feel like that's better. Oh, hello. Hello, best gun in the game. Welcome, my friend Gunther, Godly Gunther. You son of a Gunther. You belong here on your god throne. You menace to gungeoneering everywhere. Yeah, you stay up there. Unicorn horn. This is jammed. I believe this is a jammed weapon. It's not super good for a beam weapon. Um, Certainly not the best beam weapon, but not a bad one. I'd probably leave it here in superior. I may be underselling this. If I'm not mistaken, it's not too great because this doesn't do like room wide damage like the whatever it is, like some other beam weapons, and it doesn't move super fast if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just gonna leave it here for now. Uh, Co- Cobalt Hammer um has potential to clear rooms or deal a lot of damage. Not too bad. Uh, yeah, I'll put it up here. The charge can get a little annoying, but you don't have to charge it if you don't want to. Always better if you do. Cat Claw? Cat Claw. This thing is broken. I don't care what you say. Every time I pick this up, everything dies. There's no saving yourself from this nightmare. This is This thing just annihilates bosses and annihilates enemies. You barely have to use any ammo to kill things. It's great. And the bullets have homing, or at least slight homing, which is more than a lot of these other weapons do. So it's just, this thing's ridiculous. It's crazy. Crazy good. Mega Hand. Speaking of crazy good, this is actually pretty good for a basic gun that you can find pretty often. You know, charge gun has a bunch of different synergies that all do different things. But again, we're just talking about the regular Mega Hand here, which is in and of itself a very good gun. Very good charge gun. Certainly better than the Dungeon Eagle. Super Meat Gun. Damn, I'm... Ooh. It's hard. It's hard. Super Meat Gun gives you one heart. Gives you health, like one health, which is great. I mean, you can't say that about any other weapon here that we've looked over so far, or I think any other weapon in general, but I could be wrong. That's already great. The bullets that it shoots are fantastic. Piercing, ricocheting, they last forever. Just launches a bunch of crazy ass saw blades that just cut through everything. I'm tempted to put this in Demigodly. Like, I'm looking at this now. I'm looking at other weapons that pierce and have like crazy types of fire, like Patriot, Dragonfire, even uh finished gun to some extent. And the fact that it gives you health, it gives you a heart container, that's I think that's what pushes it over the edge for me. Like without that, I think I'd put it in excellent regardless just because it's such a good weapon. But with the health, I'm gonna put it here. Um what do we have? Snowballer. I mean, the the freeze effect is good. The damage, eh, like I don't know. It's I wouldn't put this. I mean, I don't know. I'd rather have Crestfaller if I'm looking to freeze enemies or just kill them because this deals more damage. Of course, this fires much faster and more bullets, but I've never been a huge fan of Snowballer. Um, if you ever have the chance to duct tape this to something, even if it's a weaker item, actually, I think I've duct taped these two items together. I've had both ice and fire all at once, and it did fairly well. And that was even late into the run on like Chamber 5. It did okay. Of course, I had upgrades and stuff, but even by itself, just the fact that you can have two of these in tandem is pretty good. But yeah, just by itself, this by itself it's not great. It's you know for the first few chambers, sure, go for it. After a while, though, it starts to kind of just fade away. Yeah, I'll leave it there. Machine Fist. This is pretty good. Uh, oof. Machine Fist. This is the one where the the final no, you reload it. It shoots a fist that follows your cursor and explodes. It's pretty damn good. Uh where did I put hammer? I'd put this one step above hammer because it shoots as fast as hammer, I think, but instead of firing a hammer, it shoots instead a much better explosive weapon. I'm gonna put this up here. I like this gun a lot. Hexagun. I'm also gonna put this up here. Very good gun. Powerful, transmog, just straight up good. Or straight up great rather. Heroin, also gonna put this in excellent. Very good, super powerful. The charge takes a super long time to charge, but you can charge it at like multiple levels, which is nice. So if you can't hold down the charge, just fire it away anyway. It's like a very advanced version or a souped up version of the Mega Hand. Mutation. I'm gonna put this in superior. Damage output is pretty good, but it does push you back. It gives you some recoil, which you have to fight if you're going to, try to aim this thing effectively, or not aim it effectively, but not push yourself into enemies or into pits. So you have to be wary of that. But otherwise, pretty good. What is this? Flame Hand. I'm gonna put this in superior as well. The piercing fireballs not only set enemies ablaze, but they deal fairly good damage. So it's nice. I'm just gonna put that up there. I like using this whenever I find it. Demon Head. You can also put this in superior. Burning, just high damage outright. Yeah, I think we're good here. Let's see now. We have Anvilin. This is less good. Hmm. This one's hard. This one I'm probably gonna put in superior. Stuns, deals good damage. Pierces. I'm gonna put it in superior. That sounds great. Okay, and next we have Gamma Ray. This is also a pretty good weapon. It's a good beam weapon. I don't know if it's quite superior. I'd probably put it in good, even though it does poison. Yeah, we'll leave it in good. Fossilized gun. This can potentially be a room clearer if you're careful. You could just quickly hop into a room, spray it, and just douse the entire thing in oil, and then just set it ablaze really quickly. Burn everyone to a crisp pretty easily. I have gotten quite a bit of usage out of this weapon, but I can't really put it any higher than this because fire is so damn devastating that it's too much of a detriment. Fire is way more potent than poison, so anything that can poison you, fire is going to be worse. And especially with this gun, because the fire gets everywhere. The fire gets absolutely everywhere, which is why you have to be super careful when you're using it. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this down here. Still, can potentially clear rooms. Just there's a bit too much of a drawback for me personally. Mega Dowser. This is pretty trash. It's water. It's a water gun. I mean, it's pretty garbage. There's not much here that's worth wanting. Disintegrator Cannon. Disintegrator Cannon. Welcome to Demigodly. Takes a bit to charge, but it's very powerful. Very, very powerful. I like this weapon a lot. Freeze Ray. I'm not a fan. Does a good job freezing enemies. That's about it. I don't really care to freeze enemies. I'd rather just kill them. I'll put this in good. Uh, it's yeah, just I'm not a fan. I'll leave it there. Science cannon. I'm also not a fan of this weapon. Um, I feel this is better than freeze ray only because it could deal various DOT damage, like you know, by the way it shoots, it just deals random effects to enemies. So I'll probably put this in superior. Again, still not a big fan of this beam weapon. I'd sooner have other I'd sooner use other beam items than this. Uh like this one. What is this? Uh the hell is this thing called? It's the Ghostbuster thing. It's the what is it called? Prototype something? I'm having a brain fart right now. I love this weapon and I pick it up every time and I love using it, but I just cannot for the life of me remember what it's called right now. Whatever it is, the Ghostbusters plasma beam thing. Very good. It's super duper slow, but it's super duper powerful. I'll probably just put this here in superior. It's hard for me to put it higher than that because of the fact that it's so damn slow. Um, what is this damn thing called? I can't remember. Anyway, trick gun. Trick gun is icky. I don't like trick gun very much. Um, I'll put it in good just because it's not a bad weapon, but yeah, I can't bear to put this any higher. It's just I've never had a good like I've never had a good instance where I'm relying on this gun to get me through a floor. And if I am relying on it, I am almost tempted to just use my regular default weapon instead. Again, it deals fairly good damage, at least the pistol does. The shotgun, less so. I don't know. I've never had a fun time with this weapon. I'm not a big fan. Uh, Mailbox, good. I'm just gonna stick this in good. I like the finale on this one. It's the only thing that can make things glittery. Get you that achievement unlock. Nail gun, pretty trash. It's nice that you can fire it extra fast, but and the fact that you don't have to reload it, I guess, but it's not that great. It's a nail gun, what do you expect to be killing with that? Uh, what is this? Light gun. Light gun. Um, it's whatever, piercing and ducks and firing fairly fast. Superior, I think that's fair. The ducks, the duck does do its fair share. Um, Not much ammo though, and it's not super powerful. Hmm. Maybe good. I don't know. I kind of like this gun. The ducks do work. They put in work. I'm gonna stick this here. Plunger. I see this almost on par with water gun, except it can poison you and enemies, and you can siphon up the the goop that you spread on the ground to refill the ammo. So, yay! It's just I guess it's a nifty weapon, but I'm not a huge fan. Um, Moonscraper. As far as beam guns go, or beam weapons, it's pretty up there. The fact that it ricochets is nice. You can shoot around corners, shoot behind walls. kind of deals pretty good damage. Not the best, but not the worst. I'll leave it there. Uh, Barrel. I actually like Barrel a lot. The stunning is nice. The damage is pretty good. Um, I'd sooner have this than a lot of these other like just normal handguns. We have Raiden Coil. This is the beam weapon that I'm thinking of. This is the one that goes throughout like the whole room and chains together the enemies and just annihilates them. This is the one that I'm thinking of. So yeah, this is the Gucci one. I'll leave this here. This is pretty dang good. I might even, I don't know if this is quite demigodly. I can't quite remember. Much like, I get this one mixed up with Thunderclap a lot in that I don't, for some reason, like those two weapons, these weapons and then this one are like freaking the trifecta of ignorance. Like they just don't show up in my runs very often, or if they do, they get ignored for some odd reason, and I just don't ever get to use them. This one though, I'm pretty sure this is pretty damn good. I can't remember exactly how good, but I feel like this is a good spot to put it in. Mahogany. I have a soft spot for mahogany. It's good. I like this gun. The damage output can be potentially great if you are utilizing it properly. The fact that the grenades have a slight homing effect is very nice, and the leaves that come out add some nice DPS. So I like it. I kind of use it like a shotgun almost. It's like a long range shotgun kind of that explodes for not very great damage, but still pretty good. I like it. Trash cannon. I'm tempted to just put this in trash lore just because, I mean, it's a literal garbage can with a freaking stock, but it's, I don't know. I mean, this is a pretty bad gun. It's pretty bad. I think this does more harm than good because of the fact that all of the poison it lays around spreads throughout the room. And chances are you're going to be the one that gets poisoned over the enemies. Like, very rarely do I have enemies that get poisoned due to the like secondary effects of this cannon going off. I don't know. I think I'm gonna put this in Trash Lord. Like, I'd rather have I'd rather even have this piece of garbage than this, because at least with this I can deal consecutive, like continuous damage. Whereas this thing, you shoot it once, you gotta reload it. The shot doesn't do very much damage, and then it just splits into a bunch of poison, and then it's just I don't like it. Trash Lord, sure, makes sense. You're trash. You're literal trash. Origami, you're pretty damn good. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, okay. Uh, oh man, we're almost done. We're almost done. I'm kind of having to speed this up because I'm starting to get like a little mad here. Like, not angry mad, just insane mad. I'm starting to lose my stuff right now. Getting a little weeble wobble. Okay, what the hell is this? The kiln. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, this is a very good like opener weapon. If you find this in the first or second or even third chamber, it'll still last you a good amount. What is this? Skull breaker. Skull break. Skull break. Skull break. Hey. Skull break. Hey. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, it's like on par with this. I always kind of like find these two guns synonymous. This one's pretty strong and it has homing, I believe. So yeah, it's good. Uh, Buzz, Buzz kill, Buzz saw, Buzz, Buzz. What's the buzz? You're like here because you're like a lesser version of super meat gun. Scrambler, one of my favorite weapons. You're going to excellent. I don't care what they say about you. You're my baby. You do good things. You've never led me astray. Glacier, you're okay. You're not bad. As far as like frost weapons go, you're probably one of the better ones, but I don't think you're quite excellent. Maybe, maybe, but I don't think so. Tear jerker. Ich. Get the ich. It's just ich. I. I mean. I don't know. This is a hard one. This is a hard one. The reason why it's a hard one is because this weapon, while it might be a decent weapon, the fact that you're limited to only shooting in like cardinal directions, which is to say, up, down, left, or right. I think that's what that means. I'm pretty sure. Uh, you can only shoot in those four directions, a la Binding of Isaac, and it really, really, really messes it up. It's very surprisingly difficult to hit your target when you can't aim at all. Like you have to, even if you unlearn the Gungeon mechanics and somehow imbue your Binding of Isaac magic into the combat here, it just doesn't work right because you're I don't know. I've never found a situation where I can respectfully use this weapon to an advantage rather than a detriment. Like I'll probably, if I use this, I'm probably gonna get hit more often than I hit enemies with it. And that to me is just a cause for like a dumpster fire. I'm tempted to put this in Trash Lord only because it's almost feasibly unusable. However, you can still use it and kill things with it, unlike these two for the most part. So I'll just leave it where it is. That's fine. You can cry about it as you do. Molotov launcher. It's not that great. I mean, it's basically the same thing as a Molotov, just in gun form. You don't have to wait for the recharge, but it's no better than fossilized gun. Probably even worse, because this one you have to aim it. Fossilized gun, you can just splooge your oil everywhere and then ignite it for an entire inferno. This one, it's a bit more limited. Maybe that's a better thing. Maybe that's a worse thing. To me, it's kind of just the same thing. Bait launcher. Now this is a fun one to use. I like this. I like this weapon a lot. Pretty damn powerful. I'm probably gonna put this up here. No, I'm probably gonna put this here. I'm probably gonna put that there because it won't always kill what you are aiming at. Not always. I'd say more than half of the time. Majority of the time it'll kill what you're aiming at, but sometimes that tiger just won't listen. Sometimes something will get in that tiger's way, and that tiger's just gotta maul it, just gotta eat it. Won't listen to your commands. So, if you're really if you're on your last limb and you need to kill this gun nut right in front of you, you land that steak right on his face, that juicy bloody steak, ready for the tiger's claws to come on in and maul him. Well, the tiger might get stuck on that little I don't know, that little bullet bat dude, and there that goes. And now the gun knight just slashed your face and you're dead. So what happened? Well, that's because the tiger gets stuck on things, gets a little distracted from all the fresh uh meat around. Yeah, let's go with that. Brick Breaker. That was pretty good. It's, it's like upper tier good. Lowercase r. You're pretty garbage. I I think I'm tempted to leave you down here in trash, buddy. I'm really tempted. You're pretty useless past a certain level, and I don't know. Maybe inferior. Okay. You know what? I'll give you that. You're fun to use. You're somewhat entertaining, I suppose. Oh geez, it's getting late, and I am kind of falling apart right now. I need to get this done. This is starting to drive me a little crazy. All right, Eye of the Beholster. Uh, I probably so the minions that come from this gun are far better than the actual gun itself. But in order to do that, you have to empty out your entire magazine, which is to say, you're gonna have to shoot it a lot. And whoops, there goes your ammo after one floor because you're too busy trying to summon your minions to do your bidding rather than utilize like a gun that's pretty much on par with this. Um, Actually, you know what? I'm gonna move this down a notch because if this is in superior, this is like the lesser version of it. So yeah, I'm gonna switch that up a little bit. Shock rifle. Yeah, I'm gonna put you in superior, buddy. You're a very good assault rifle type of weapon. Well, I guess you're not assault rifle because you gotta whatever. Anyway, the faster you click, the faster it shoots. It's pretty damn good. It's powerful and whatnot. What is this? Blah blah blah. Knight's Knight's gun. Knight's gun. Yeah. Demigodly, I don't think so. The shield is great. With the shield, you may not ever get hit, but the ammo is a little bit limited. The damage is a little bit too I don't know. It's not enough to be broken. It's like it's just about there with that shield, but it's not there's not enough offensive capability with this gun to warrant putting it any higher in my opinion. It's still a very good gun. Uh yeah, it's well worth picking up. The quad laser. Inignot says the quad laser is godly, of course. But of course, Inignot is an idiot. So we put the quad laser in uh it's not really that good, but uh,
it does a lot of damage, but it's like super hard to use.
I don't know. I can't really put this any higher than good. I don't even want to put it at good because I don't like using this. I don't like using this gun, but I love Aqua Teen Hunger Force, so good. That's so unfair. No, it's a good weapon. It deals a lot of damage. It's so slow, and you have to get so close to the enemy. It's no different than any other shotgun type, like really close, like big iron or something. Probably deals more damage than big iron, I would assume, but you can't fire it nearly as fast. I don't know. I'll put it in good. It's not a bad gun. It's just super duper slow pace. Gungeon Ant. Now this is a bad weapon. It's a horrible weapon. I'm gonna leave this in trash. This is almost trash lord, but I at least it has some utility, I guess. I guess. Pitchfork. Pitchfork? Yeah, that's what that looks like. I'm gonna put that in good. I always see this as one step below Flame Hand. Abyssal Tentacle. Abyssal Tentacle. This is the one that shoots and constricts. I'm gonna put you here. Yeah. Maybe an excellent, but I can't quite remember. I'm gonna put you here. Uh, Trident. You're not bad, but you're not great. You're about on par with the mining laser, maybe a little better, just because you can fire it super fast, but even then, okay, fine. I'll put this in superior. That seems more fair. I think that's better. Excalibur is pretty good. Is jammed, but who cares about that? I like this gun. It's pretty potent. Yeah, I think that seems right. Um why am I thinking the axe? That's from Terraria. Was it? Face Melter. Thank you. Face Melter. I'm really tempted to put this in Demigodly just because of its special ability, gimmick, whatever you want to call it. It shoots in four directions, and you can double the output, which is to say you can shoot in eight directions at once. And if you put your uh, amplifier right underneath an enemy and then start firing, it hits them with all of those bullets at once. It can be super ridiculously like overpowered, but chances are it's not going to be. You always have to change the position of your amplifier, which you can easily every time you reload. It drops it wherever your feet are, so wherever you're standing, you can activate double damage kind of. But I don't know. I feel like it's a bit too much work. Like it's not really broken so much as like I don't know. It's not naturally broken. You kind of have to break it every time. Yeah, every time you use it, you have to manually do it. You can't just up and like make it super powered. You know what I mean? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, excellent. That's fine. That works. Alien Engine. This is one of my favorite weapons. I'm gonna put it in superior. Super hard to use, super finicky, deals a metric crap ton of damage though. Also sets enemies on fire. Also jettisons you around the room. You can move so fast with this thing. Like so fast that it's actually almost dangerous to use this, but If you know what you're doing, if you just practice with this, you'll get very good and you'll end up killing everything with it. This thing deals so much damage. You just need to know how to use it. You need to know how to control it, and you need to not jettison yourself into a pit or lava or goop or enemies or, any of that. But, once you get all of that out of the way, you're good. Beehive. Beehive. I'm not a huge fan of Beehive. Reason? Bees. Bees are okay, but bees have a tendency to just take a giant shit all the time. What happens when your bees hit a wall? They die. What happens when your bees hit water? They die. What happens when your bees get tired and don't want to kill the enemy? They die. Uh, I mean, sure, they do damage and home in on enemies, but it's just they don't do good. They're just eh, they're not. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Beehive. Most of the time when I'm shooting this, my bees end up dying. They just don't ever reach their target, or they go to a completely wrong target, or they just it's not that great. It's not that great. I'm gonna leave it there. Gunzeng. I don't know. Whatever. Superior. Yeah, you're pretty good. Get it with some aim, aim assist, some more accurate upgrades, and it becomes a total powerhouse. But by itself, it's pretty good. Banana. I do not like banana. Banana is it's surprisingly underwhelming, surprisingly hard to use. Uh it's banana. It's yellow. It goes here. Oh man. Silencer. I'll put this at superior. Uh you know, shoot out whatever the hell it shoots out. I don't even know what the heck the bullets are for this thing, but you can whack the enemies with your pillow and stun them. That's fun, and it deals a good amount of damage, so, that's cool. Camera. One of my least favorite weapons in the game, but I do realize its utility. It does room-wide damage, it stuns, it just takes a lot of charges to actually end up killing things. So chances are you're going to run out of ammo pretty quickly. I might even move this to superior because, again, it is room-wide damage and room-wide stun. Not always stunning, but, it has a chance to stun, I guess. Yeah, I'll leave it in superior as much as it kind of irks me to. If it were me, I'd put this down in good, but that seems appropriate. T-shirt cannon is pretty inferior. Could be powerful early on in a run, but it's not that great. Pox cannon. This, however, is like a better T-shirt cannon. Seemingly more powerful. Seemingly, it probably deals the same damage, maybe a bit more, but it has the additional benefit of poison. So there's that. Microtransaction gun. Um, uh, the few times that I've had the chance to actually use this weapon, it's not very good. It's like it's it eats your money. Like, you don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want to lose your money. Money is a very, very valuable resource in the Gungeon. You don't ever get enough of it. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. But majority of the time, you don't ever get enough of it. And you don't want to use your money to waste on this shitty gun. This gun isn't worth it. It's not. Maybe if this thing was like a powerhouse, like one of these top 3 tier guns, maybe. But it's not. This thing's this thing's on par with some of the weapons in this tier. And it's like, for money? Like, I'm paying to have to shoot this. I'm paying my money. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Especially if you actually buy the DLC for this damn gun, which would be absurd, but that's all part of the in joke, That's it's part of it. Anyway, whatever. It's not that great a gun. Cactus. Cactus. I'm gonna put it up here. It's not as bad as nail gun. It's actually better than a lot of the guns on this list. It's probably like the best. It's probably the best inferior gun. It's like low tier good almost, but I like Cactus. I'm a fan. Especially on the Lich, then you don't ever need any other gun again. You could just, or I mean the gunslinger. You just get this and you win the game. But I digress. This is a fair gun. It's not too bad. Sling, good. You can still kill enemies with it. You don't want to. You want to primarily use it for bosses. You could also use it for larger enemies, but again, you usually want to use it for bosses. Good boss killing item especially if you don't have anything else. If you're stuck with, default crappy crap weapons, this can really come in handy when it comes to killing a boss. So just for that alone, I'm gonna put it in good. Of course, you have to be a little bit skilled to use it. It's not it's not a difficult weapon. It's just a simple charge weapon, but it's just a very simple weapon in general. Anyway, BSG. Okay. Yes, demigodly. Easily. Room clearing, very small amount of ammo, but just devastating. Straight up devastating. Makeshift cannon. This is hard. You know, Erg. This is hard. It is, this wants to be here, but it only has one shot. And you can't refill this with the red ammo box because it doesn't work. You can't fill it with a 50% fill up because the 50% gets rounded down to 0. So you have to only ever fill this with the green ammo boxes. And that doesn't always happen. However, this is an extremely overpowered weapon that can one-shot bosses if you hit them correctly. It won't always do it, but if you hit them just right, you can one-shot bosses, especially things like the kill pillars or I don't know, anything, like really anything. But it's just you only get one shot. This is almost worse than glass cannon. So I mean, at least it doesn't break, but I don't know. It's hard. I can't I don't think I can put this in demigodly. Same reason why I can't put AU gun in demigodly. The ammo just isn't there. Even with 22 shots, this thing isn't really there. Like I want to put this up here, but it's just you're not gonna. I don't know. I don't feel right. I think I need to put this here. I don't. It bugs me. It bugs me if I put this up here because I just don't feel like it. belongs. I feel like it wants to belong, but it just can't. It's not. It doesn't have what it takes. I I'm just gonna leave it at that and move along because otherwise we're gonna be here all freaking day. Black hole gun, on the other hand, yes, you do belong up here. You can clear rooms, you can clear bosses somewhat. You can at least make boss rooms a lot safer. Makes it harder to aim with guns because it's gonna affect your aim significantly. But just for the fact of clearing rooms and really getting rid of all enemy bullets on the screen is simply ridiculous. It's just broken. It's just broken. What is this? Uh, air tank, gas tank. I think it's just not air tank. I think. Whatever. It's like the bait launcher except way better. I'm gonna put you there. Serious cannon. Serious cannon. I'm also gonna put you in excellent. I don't think you're quite. Can't remember. Serious cannon. I don't think I can put you in demigodly. I think I'm gonna have to keep you with in excellent. Um yeah, that seems right. Star Pew. I like this gun. Well, quote unquote gun. Excellent. Yeah. Not demigodly, but up there. Uh balloon gun? Balloon gun? This is pretty good. Grants you flight, has the glass cannon problem, but otherwise very powerful gun. Also, flight is very nice. The drawback is a lot though. Not being able to having to treat this like, one of those one hit items is not very pleasing. Like if you get hit with this, it's gone. You can't fly anymore and your ammo's zip. Your ammo just gets nulled. It goes to zero. Um because of that, I don't think I can move this higher. It's a pretty good gun. Again, powerful and the flying is very nice, but when you can lose all of that in one hit, it's just it's not the greatest. Did I just shift something on accident? Well, whatever. Dueling laser. I'd put you here if it wasn't for the charge because it's a pain. It's a pain to fire you, charge you off of another weapon, and then switch back to you and then fire you again. It's not ideal. It does have infinite ammo, yes, but you have to charge it up. And it's not like a charge weapon. You have to literally it's like an activatable item. You have to deal damage in order to charge up the gun, and then once it's charged, it'll ding, and then you switch back to the weapon and then fire it again until you rinse and repeat. So it's super powerful. It's a great gun, but I don't know if I can place it any higher than this just because of the manual practices needed to use it, if you know what I mean. Like it's too finicky. It's just too there's too much to it. You can't just up and get it. I guess maybe you can set your favorite to that gun and then just switch back and forth, but I don't know. That's it's not just like a gun where you can pick it up and be like, "Oh, all right, it's time to win the game." I don't know. It's not one of those. Unlike this gun. gun. Casey, welcome to God tier, my friend. Long have long have you been awaiting this moment. Long have we all been awaiting this moment. Hyper light blaster is excellent. Yeah, yeah. Bullet, bullet. Good. Yep. Shell, also good. Bullet might even be superior. I might even have to put bullet like up here. By itself, though, by itself, I don't think so. You know, oh, that's hard. Like shell is worse than bullet in my opinion. I think bullet's better because shell doesn't shoot its tertiary shots, that is to say the third shots. So like shell shoots shotguns which shoots bullets. So it doesn't shoot the bullets until the shotguns hit their target, whereas with bullet the handguns that it shoots shoot bullets as they fly through the air. So it deals even more damage because the longer that those handguns fly through the air, the more bullets they shoot, which means the more bullets that they or the more damage that they could potentially deal. I think I'm going to put this in superior. I've always had a better time with bullet than like any of these other weapons. Because I'm looking at these now, I'd rather have bullet than like a lot of these other guns. Maybe not though. Maybe not. Fuck. All right. Well, I'll just whatever. That's fine. Okay. Crown of guns. Crown of guns. Yeah, sure. You got 3,000 ammo, but when I can only hit an enemy every like 100 ammo I spend, it's not that great. Again, you put on some bullet upgrades, you put on some accuracy upgrades, you're sailing. You're going places. But without it, just generic crown of guns, you're gonna have a hard time. It's gonna be frustrating. You're not gonna. It might look cool, but you're gonna be crying inside. I guarantee it. Rad gun, potentially excellent. I'm gonna keep it up here because this is a gun that's based off of your skill, especially when it comes to reloading this in firefights, like inactive firefights. But even then, or even outside of that rather, even if you just did the perfect reloads like on a previous room or prior to fighting a boss, you'd be surprised how much damage you can potentially do just by preparing it the room prior. Very good gun. Takes a little work and effort, takes a little, finesse, but once you get that pattern down, super good gun. Very devastating. What is this? AC-15, I think it's called. The armor gun by itself. This one's hard because this one's got like a built-in synergy where it's like it fires super fast by itself and it's like an okay gun, but then when you have armor, it makes it substantially better but fires super slow. So, I don't know. I'd put this in good as like a roundabout because it starts off at good, potentially gets to superior, maybe if you have armor, but generic by itself, like it's just good. I'll leave it there. Vorpal blade, Vorpal gun, Vorpal. Is it Vorpal blade? Vorpal? No, no. Vorpal blade is the. Oh my god, Vorpal blade is Alice in Wonderland. Vorpal gun is this damn game. Superior. Critical hit chance, sure. It's not a great handgun, but the crit chance is a nice addition. It's, yeah, sure, that's fine. What is this? Devolver? Hmm. Devolver. I'm gonna put you in superior. Yeah. Directional pad. I'm gonna put you in superior. A chest isn't. One chest could potentially be very good, but it could also potentially be very shit. So I'm just gonna put you in the middle ground here. Like, I'm gonna put you above, like right above the middle ground, because you're a fairly good weapon, even though you can only be used once. Kind of. I mean, you can always recharge your ammo before you drop to zero, but one of the perks of this weapon are getting the chest at the end, so typically that's what you're going to be hoping for in the first place. So yeah, I'll leave you there. Morningstar. Hello, Demigodly. Yes, welcome, welcome. Strafer gun, or strafe gun, not strafer. Strafe copyright gun. Oh no, it's not copyright. Strafe. What does the R mean? What does the little R mean? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, I mean, if Cat Claw's up here, I'm gonna have to put you up here because you're just ridiculous. You're crazy. I have to. I can't not put you up here. Right? Right? Like this is just too good, isn't it? It's just too good. Robot's left hand. Sadly, you're not as good, but you're still pretty good. You're like on par with Vulcan Cannon. I think maybe a little bit more powerful. Void Core Launcher. Um, I'm gonna put you in superior. You might be surprised why I'm not putting this in excellent, but I don't find you as powerful as these other launchers or these other heavy hitting weapons. I think you're more on par with like your brethren over here. That's just me. I've just never had a very great time with just this weapon by itself. Little tricky. Really special loot? Yeah. You're pretty trash. You're just bad. I don't like you at all. You're muncher food. You're cell creep crap. Uh Big shotgun. Best shotgun in the game. Best best shotgun in the game. You fight me on that, you will lose. Big shotgun, best shotgun. You just sit on up there. Uh, Stone Dome. Stone Dome. Pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. The fear effect is also nice, but primarily the homing shots. Yeah. Mm, yeah. Tempted to put this in excellent, but I think you're good where you're at. Okay, Life Orb. This is a hard one. This is a very finicky one. Ideally, what you want to do is target the highest health enemy in the room and, kill them so that you get their effect and then reload it and then kill virtually everything else that has lower health than than what you killed with the orb. But that's usually not how it works because you can't target things with it. It just picks out an enemy at random. So you're kind of stuck with whoever you get, with whoever the weapon targets, which is to say, it could be like anyone. You could target a little batlet with it, and then you're gonna have to reload it. It's not gonna deal any damage to any enemies, and you're gonna have to do it all over again. Could be good, could not be. I guess I'll put it in superior because it's a kind of an interesting item to use, kind of fun. Certainly different The gimmick makes it a little bit exciting, but also frustrating. So I'll put it up here, I suppose. Gunder Fury. Okay, now we're talking. One of my favorite guns in the game. Uh, of course, this is the image is level 1. You'll easily level this up to 60 to its max level, in which it'll be the one of the best guns you've ever used. So, at level 1, I don't even remember how crappy it is, but at level max, it's ridiculously overpowered. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave that there. Glass cannon, I'll put you in superior. You're not great, but you're not bad, other than the fact that you can break, much like this bastard over here. I'll just leave you there. Actually, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. What is this? The exotic. You're pretty up here. I like you. High caliber. Okay. I'm gonna put you here. Almost demigodly. If yeah, I'm gonna leave you here. If you had that synergy with the Holy Grail, like automatically, where the souls automatically come toward you rather than away from you on the opposite side of the enemy, then you'd be up in demigodly. But because of the fact you have to put in so much work to get the extra damage out of this, I'll put you in excellent, because you already deal amazing damage, but you can deal so much more damage when you collect the souls of your enemies, and that's just it's hard to do. It adds extra challenge to the game, which is nice, but in firefights, it might get a little frustrating when you have to capture those things, or when you're trying to capture them and you end up getting hit because of your own hubris. Wood beam. I almost called you wood plank. Wood beam. Interesting item. Very interesting. I'll put you in superior just because you're just weird, man. This is like the most awkward item in the game. It's so weird. And I understand. I get it. I mean, yes, it's a beam. Ha ha ha. Jokes aside, it's just weird. It's like I don't know. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's fairly good. You just have to get used to it. You just have to play around with it. It's fun to use, don't get me wrong. That's why I'm ranking it as high as I am. Otherwise I would have put it lower, but it's just such a bizarre weapon. And yeah, it's just strange. Chamber gun. Um Demigodly. Yeah, that's it. Rollerblade. Mm, I mean, it's not super great. I'd put this at like, well, hmm, I'll put this up here. Nah. This is it's a finicky one as well. It's like it doesn't deal a super amount of damage, but it does stun and it does seek out enemies, or at least one enemy a time. It potentially can hit more than one enemy, stunning them as well. But usually it hits one guy and then goes away. And it probably won't even kill that guy, so you'll have to use another one and another one and another one and so on and so forth. Sometimes you'll get lucky, most of the times you won't. I'll leave it in good. I could be mistaken, but whatever. Okay. We're almost done. We're almost done. And then there's a few of these at the end which don't even aren't even part of this nonsense, because they just don't exist or are so bizarre that I've never even seen them before. Sunlight Javelin. Uh, you're, you know, you're not bad. You're not great. I'll put you here. It's not a super great weapon. I think I've overrated this in the past, and I feel like it belongs here. If anything, it belongs in excellent, but I'm I'm gonna just keep you there for right now. JK-47. You are a worse version of AK-47, so I'm gonna put you here because you're not very good. Mr. Oh my god. Let's try this again. Not acceleration. Mr. Accretion Jr. I like you. You're up here. Fun gun to use. This one, however, Tetronomator. Tetronomator? You kind of suck. I don't like you at all. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. The explosions so rarely happen for me that by the time by the time I see one enemy exploding, they don't even die, and I've already killed like five other enemies trying to get them to explode with the damn Tetris blocks, but they just don't. They just don't die. So, yep, here you are. You're gonna be here. Teapot. It's not that great. It's not that great. Third party controller. It's also not that great. This is pretty trash in my opinion. While it might negate an enemy from shooting you, or nullify rather, they still shoot after you're controlling them. So, if you shoot in a direction that you're standing, or I'm sorry, well, if you shoot in the direction you're standing relative to the enemy's position, if that makes any sense whatsoever, you're going to get hit with the bullets that you shot out of them. This doesn't prevent you from getting hurt by whoever you're controlling. It just stops them from actively aiming at you and shooting at you on their own accord, which means you can still get hurt. And you know what happens when you have the controller and they're plugged in? You can't really shoot at them anymore. I mean, you can switch your guns and kill them, I guess, but like what's the point of using this gun if you're just going to kill them anyway? Cuz you can control every enemy in the room, but you're still going to have to kill them. And unless all of those enemies are on one side of the room where you can kill each of them by just aiming in a different direction without you having to worry about getting hit, this is virtually useless and pretty much detrimental to your own well-being, because most of the time you're probably just going to get hit by your own stupidity. Much like I do. uh I don't see the benefit in this item. I never have. It's an interesting thought. It's fun to use, but it's just never been good. It's always been just like I see it and I'm like, ugh, I don't want this. Um, Gunner, Gunner, Gunner is pretty damn good. Pretty powerful. Also has the chance to heal you when you get hurt. That's pretty damn good in my book. I don't know if I put it that high. It does heal you though, potentially. I'll put it down here. The Fat Line. This gun is good. This shoots from across the room behind walls, goes through walls, goes through enemies. Uh, High damage, high fire rate. It's just it's an interesting gun to use. It's very fun, pretty powerful. Triple gun. This is also a very great gun. I'll put it in an excellent. Three-stage gun. The more ammo you use, the more, or the, sorry, the more ammo you use. Wow, English, it's hard. Guys, sorry. I mean, I'm almost on 3 hours with this damn video, and I'm breaking down mentally right now. I can't even formulate complete sentences. Every time you reach a certain ammo threshold with this gun, it'll transform into the next form. It transforms into a total of one, like the first form, which is just a regular handgun. Then it transforms into a semi-automatic weapon, and then it'll transform into a beam gun similar to the wind gunner, kind of, not really, but like it sort of. Anyway, super powerful gun eventually, once you get close to no ammo with it. But I like it. It's fun. It's up there. Shrink gun. I don't like this gun at all. It's not fun, but it's okay. I'll just leave it at that. What the hell is this? Is this even a... I don't know what this is. I'm just gonna move this. I honestly have no idea what that is. The Predator? I think that's just what it's called. This is a really good gun. Super powerful. Nice to have auto lock-on feature. Knights... No. Oh, I'm sorry. What did I call? I called this Knight's Gun. This is Betrayer's Shield. Stupid me. Betrayer's Shield is this one. The one that makes the shield that comes from the Betrayer. Oh my god. This is Knight's Gun. I would call this Shovel Gun, but it's Knight's Gun. This is pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna put it here. Evolver, also pretty good. I enjoy this. I enjoy this weapon. It's one of those changey weapons, much like triple gun, in that the more you, I think it's just the more you kill. I don't even think you have to kill things with this weapon in order for it to evolve. I think it's just once you pick it up, once you start killing things with this in your inventory, it'll evolve even if you're not holding it. I'm pretty sure that's how it works anyway. Combined rifle. Not bad. I'm going to put this here. This is the one with the vaporizing ball. I kind of always put this on par with the M16, so I might actually move the M16 down a notch. I might be making a... Yeah, no, that seems right. I don't know anymore. Whatever. Let's just keep going. Boxing glove, I think. It's not very good. It's okay, but it's not very good. Also, it's jammed. I don't like this item. I never have, and I never will. I guess it's a little fun to use. Elementaler, God tier, buddy. Welcome to it. Ooh, my little soda pop friend. Bubble Blaster. You be crap. You're not good at all. But I love you. You're the cutest gun ever. There's a place in my heart for you. You and your cute little
soda burps, you little dino buddy. Um, and I think we're actually missing one. So forget all these because these are just all things here. These aren't actually part of like the Ammonomicon except for this one. This is Rubinstein's monster, which I have yet to ever make ever because it's so damn hard to get the two guns in one run, apparently. I've never ever seen this gun ever. I've also never seen this gun yet. High Dragon. High Dragon. This is Wind Gunner, which comes from Sprun. This is a goose. I don't know what the hell. What is this even? What? Sure, it looks like a gun. I don't know what the hell this is. I don't even know what this is in reference to. If you can find this on the wiki, please tell me what this is, because I'd love to know. I'd really love to know. This is the Mimic Gun, which is just a curse in and of itself. I've maybe had the Mimic Gun. I've maybe noticed that I've had the Mimic Gun twice in my life, in my game time. This is... it's its own thing. Just look at the wiki. I'm not going to rate this because it's not an actual gun that you can collect. Rarely you can get it, but it's just something entirely different. I don't even know why there's this spent dude here. Is this supposed to be an item? If it is, I've never seen it. I've never heard of this. And what the fuck is this thing? I don't even know what this gun is. I've never seen this before. But it's on a pedestal. It must be in the code or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, from what I realize here, I just realized this now, is that I'm missing a gun. This doesn't have turbo gun in it. That's maybe it's missing more guns, but the only one that I know that it's missing is turbo gun. So in lieu of turbo gun, I'm going to use this High Dragon marker as turbo gun. Turbo gun is like not very good. I kind of put turbo gun on the same wavelength as trank gun. Turbo gun is just like a worse version of the rad gun in that you have to reload it to make it better, but instead of doing perfect reloads, a la rad gun, you have to button mash the hell out of your turbo gun in order to make it shoot better. But every single time you reload it, you have to mash the reload button. And there's no more appropriate name that I could call it than the RSI gun for that exact reason. And I cannot stand the turbo gun. It's not a good gun. Like it's an okay gun, but you know, it can potentially get better if you want to sit there and button mash. But who's going to want to do that when they're in the middle of a firefight? Just find a gun that does better damage outright, you know? You don't need that. Ugh, man. What a way to end this video. What is this? This is bugging me now. I need to know what is this? Why is this even here? Oh my god. Oh, I hope I didn't miss any more weapons. There might have been a couple maybe that have slipped under the radar that I'm not thinking of, because there are a few here that I just don't see very often, as I very clearly pointed out before, but I think this is a pretty fair representation of how I see the Gungeon. Maybe not how it is for your typical player or even your veteran player, but in my 600 plus hours of playing this game, I feel that this is most representative of how I feel these guns kind of play out. I could go into more depth, of course, but I'm already over 3 hours into this. There's no need for that. This is more than enough detail. Again, refer to the Wikipedia for any like scrutinizing of the
more critical aspects of these, because a lot of these weapons have very specific like mechanics or gimmicks or special little things that make them what they are. Obviously you're going to have different specialties for each one of these guns, otherwise why put them in the game? But you know there's a reason they're all here. Well, except for this. The only reason this is here is because the game wants to make you suffer. But yeah, I mean, that's what it is. That's how I feel. So, with that being said, I am so very happy that I got to do this video. I have been waiting a very long time to have compiled this in front of you, and I went a little crazy there. Like I legitimately kind of lost my mind like halfway through this. It was actually really challenging to get this all put together in one fell swoop. But hopefully I didn't drive anyone too crazy. If anyone is even still watching this 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 long into this damn thing. But if you did make it to the very end, I truly do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for enjoying this wonderful game that we call Enter the Gungeon. And if you have never played this game, well, first of all, why are you watching this? But also, play the game. It's super fun. It's super fun. One of my favorite games of all time. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't have just spent 3 hours of time that I should have been sleeping because I have to be at work relatively soon. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave it there, folks. Again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everything you do. And, hey, maybe come catch my ETG streams on Twitch one day. With that, I will let you go. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.